very special 10 Reasons Why show. My name is Sam Labrati. I'll be one of your hosts today. Over there on the other side, acting usual, is Scott Tommaso.
Howdy.
And special kudos for Sema.
Finally back.
For finally joining us and helping stop the madness.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. The madness is over. She's back.
I warmed your seat up for
It's going to get crazier, actually.
Now, don't try to adjust your sets because you're not seeing double. What you're actually seeing is what is trying to pass itself off as Scott's twin.
It could not be
itself.
Chad Tommaso. Now, some will say he's the better looking one, but I'm saying it's no contest.
Well, it is no contest, that's for sure.
You get it? All right, anyway, tonight's episode, Man of Steel.
That's right. What about
Bust or Bomb?
You sounded like Marlon Brando there for a second.
Marlon Brando?
Marlon Brando.
James Bond, actually.
Who's Marley Brando?
Who's James Bond? Is that a...
I feel this
Sean Connery style.
We just started it. It's going downhill. So we're talking about Man of Steel today.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
So wait. So we're talking about Man of Steel. It just came out not this last weekend, but the weekend before. Mm-hmm. So it's been out a couple of weekends now. Mm-hmm. So how many of you seen it? Have you seen it, Sam?
I've seen it.
No, I got dragged to something else, and I'll tell you about that later.
All right, so Chad, you've seen Man of Steel, Sema, and myself. So we've all seen Man of Steel.
So I'll ask the questions.
You can ask the questions if you'd like. Actually, just go for it.
Go ahead.
All right, who directed it?
Nolan?
Zack Snyder?
Zack Snyder.
Zack Snyder.
That was a producer,
I'm a
sorry.
big
Zack
fan.
Snyder.
I'm a big fan.
Produced by Christopher Nolan, I believe.
Charles Roven
That's correct.
and
That's
a couple of people. Emma Thomas.
What?
Emma
There are
Thomas.
4 people involved in the whole
Well, we don't
producing
care about
aspect
this.
of it.
Really, what you
Look, we're only
Don't
talking
ever say
about
that.
Chris
Sema,
Nolan.
focus.
You focused.
Focus yourself.
She's gonna focus me.
God, this is horrible.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's why we get the ratings we do.
Listen, let's just get into it. So, did you think it was a good movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Why did you like
it?
Oh, wait, did you think it was a good
Are
movie?
you gonna be the moderator?
It was half and half. The first part not as good. First act was not as good, but then the fight scenes just paid,
All right, I was
justified.
She likes violence.
I will admit that I was
Hey,
disappointed.
superhero.
I was disappointed.
Okay,
It's half enough.
what did you like about the film? Chad.
I thought it was a better take on the story. It's different than the other Supermans. We all probably have seen the old Supermans, right? That's what we're really comparing it to.
Yes.
Because we're not going to even remember the last one that was tried. And that was
I don't
kind of
even
a-
count that.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah. So I thought it was a surprise that they kind of went a little bit different way with it. So she says she doesn't like the first act. I actually thought it was good, but that's because it was different.
I understand the first act is actually the best part of the film from a lot of the critiques I've been reading.
See, my problem is this: when I left the movie theater, I felt like it was like a 3.5 hour movie that they had to cut down to 2:20 or whatever it ended up being, because it was so choppy.
It was.
There was a lot of holes in it. It just felt like, how did he get from here to here? What the hell is that doing here? Maybe some of that will be corrected on the second time if I go see it again. However, first impression was I just felt like it was just too choppy. Like there were certain scenes that he had to cut out that probably should have been left in there.
Yeah, but
for time purposes,
your attention span is terrible, though.
The average attention span, Sam, is
What is it, like 15 seconds?
it's like 8 seconds.
8 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, the question is, do you agree with what a lot of the critiques are saying, which is basically, that's French for critic. No, it's not. That there was way too much fighting, and if maybe the fighting was brought down to a reasonable level, then the story could have had a better, smoother arc.
That was the best part. The fight scenes were the best part of the superhero movie. I mean,
we
you
now
want to
know
see them
what her
fighting.
opinion is worth, right?
Yes.
I will agree with you. I will agree with you. I think they should have cut out some of the fighting. There was a little too much of it.
I heard there was a lot of fighting.
Whereas they could have used that time to build up the characters.
Yeah, you gotta care about the people.
See,
Now, granted, I know everybody knows the Superman story, but it's a different take on it. I mean, it's a totally different take on it.
Totally
As
different.
far as- it is.
Krypton.
Krypton
Krypton doesn't blow up.
Yeah, so
It does.
Here's my
Marlon
problem.
Brando's not in it?
See, I think you're all forgetting that very beginning where Krypton is actually under attack and things are blowing up everywhere. There's action all
Under
in that
attack?
First,
I get
Did
that.
you just spoil it? Spoiler alert. A little late.
This is a couple weeks afterwards, isn't it? We're good.
Are we good?
I think we're good. But there was a big.
You just spoiled it for me.
There was a lot of action. There was a lot of action in the beginning. And it didn't involve Superman. So if you're talking about Superman action, okay, maybe.
No.
Superman didn't fight until the third act.
Right,
You
but
have
it was
to see that.
it
You
was
have to.
it was too much. I would have liked to have seen more
Story.
of the character build up for. I didn't care about Superman. Let's put it that way.
Sema, go to your room.
I
No,
didn't.
go to your.
I didn't care about him. So when he was fighting at the very end there, I did not care if he won or lost because I just didn't know who. I didn't get a really good sense of who that character was. Same thing goes with Lois Lane. I didn't think there was a relationship there. I thought that was forced. It really came down to everybody left saying the fight scenes were awesome. That's what you hear.
Well, that is.
Yeah, because that's the
what you
best
hear.
part of the movie.
And that's true.
Amazing.
Fight scenes are amazing. But that's it. I didn't leave there thinking it was a great story.
They could have no story.
No story for you.
But the story is already kind of built in. You don't have to really rehash the entire thing because look, it's an American icon. People know who Superman
Not
is.
everybody
The only
knows.
thing that they tried to do differently, I think, for this one than the other ones is that he felt like an outcast. So they kind of pounded that into you, saying, I can't show people who I really am yet because they're just not ready. I feel like I'm the oddball. Blah blah blah. And he didn't feel comfortable until he was an adult when things started happening.
Listen,
of
I
course.
get that. I just didn't feel for him.
That's because you're heartless.
No, it's important. Look, if the writing doesn't give you something to attach to and relate to with the main character, that's a major flaw, and that's why I particularly didn't care for World War Z, because I couldn't care two shits in the wind for Brad Pitt and his family, frankly.
Right, which is
It was a pretty lame script.
yeah. If we're talking about World War Z, sure, but that's the main thing. You can make it all glitzy and glamorous, but
You can't just
there's
throw
no-
special effects and lens flare at it.
Yeah,
JJ.
if there's here we go.
There it is.
There's the one.
Oh, he wanted to
Got
say
it
that.
once.
He wanted to say that.
No, I didn't.
I don't know, but you thought the story was fine.
The only thing I agree with you on is the Lois Lane. I honestly didn't feel that she was romantically.
I hear Russell Crowe
connected.
did an amazing job as
Yes,
I thought he did a pretty good job,
He really
yeah.
did.
as Jor-El.
He did.
He did.
Well, and if we're talking about good performances, I thought Zod, the guy who plays Zod, did a
Michael
Now,
Shannon.
Michael
I can't make a comment on that because I haven't seen it, but it's gonna have to hold up to Terrence Stamp's Zod, because nobody can say kneel before Zod better than Terrence Stamp.
Well, General Zod is no longer British, so
Yeah, well, see, that's
we're okay now.
strike number one.
And also, didn't you say that he didn't like it?
I actually, he said
didn't
that he
like
didn't
it.
like the new Superman.
Who?
The original
Mr.
Zod.
Stamp.
Stamp didn't like the.
He didn't,
No?
he didn't like the new Superman. From what I
doesn't like
understand,
it.
That's because
The new one
he
that-
feels threatened.
he did not like the Zack Snyder version that just came out. Yes, that's correct.
Huh.
Because it's not cartoony looking, comic booky as much. And I think it's better because Superman grew up finally for film
Listen,
aspect
true.
of it.
listen,
Yes, it
I
grew
don't
up.
think an
It's
immigrant
true.
should be telling this country what or not is. Oh, I'm an immigrant. All right. The point I'm trying to make is I was not born in this country, but I believe in everything that is Superman.
What?
I don't know. I'm
What
reveling.
just happened here?
You know, speaking of, so I have a question for Sema because I think the Turkish angle is always good, right? So
Yeah.
Turkish
Wow.
taffy angle.
how big of an influence was Superman in Turkish
Oh, Superman
culture?
was very popular. I think it was the first one. Superman, and then Spider-Man, then Batman,
Who's your favorite?
Thor, then
Thor.
Superman.
Thor, then Superman.
When I was really little, first Superman.
No,
I will
not
admit.
according to your glance.
When I was little,
So-
really little, I loved Superman the most. Then I swapped it to Thor because I met that character in the comic book. My brothers would collect them, so I loved it.
All right, so let's do the comparison, because I think
Thor would win.
Some people. No. I'm not talking about Thor. Just why does Thor always have to be a part of this?
Because Sema always wants to talk about
The
Thor.
the comparisons will always be there between the very first, the Superman that we know, Christopher Reeves.
I love him. Oh.
Right. So comparing that movie to this movie, I'm
They're
talking
so
about the first
different.
Superman.
They're so different.
Which one do you prefer?
Okay. First of all, it's unfair to compare.
No, it's not.
Reeves, that was different. He was just such a comic book perspective to it. It was perfect by the book. But this one had to match to the Marvel level. Marvel is all about tough. Like Thor doesn't look like Thor anymore. Iron Man doesn't. They're just swapping them. You need to make them tougher and more, matching to today's
So you're saying
level.
times have changed, so you got to make a
course.
Superman for today's.
Today, the one they just did.
let me
was
ask you a
perfect.
Second, so was it better than Superman Returns?
Do you mean the 4?
Anything would
Superman
be better
Returns.
than Superman Returns.
That's the 4, right?
So
No, that was
Superman
last one.
Returns, the one that just happened.
the crappy
About
one that
3
was
years
stopping
ago,
in the
3 or
middle
4
of the
years ago.
baseball
Yes.
field. That was horrible.
See, she just
The guy was having a hard time. Superman cannot stop the freaking plane.
Right, so
lands in
here's-
the middle of a baseball field.
And I believe it was. I was listening to Schmoes. Schmoes
horrible.
Know podcast. They talked about Man of Steel, of course.
Yes.
So I thought Mark Ellis, who's one of their hosts on there, came up with a very good thing. It says people always say the last one sucked, so this one, is going to be better regardless.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
The last Superman Returns was horrible.
Yes, but not that this was going to be good.
No, better. Because the
or
other one was so
whatever.
bad.
Yeah.
So I think it's fair if you're going to compare those two that you can compare back to the first one.
No.
Which one do you prefer?
the first one.
You prefer this one?
Well, I
because
haven't
we're
seen the
up
new
to
one.
See,
time.
okay, it's
Well, yeah.
unfair to put them in the same category.
I don't think that's true.
Okay, the reason we are comparing the Superman Returns, it was just happened a couple of years ago. It's not too long ago.
And the other one's 30
So
years
you
ago.
can't.
All right,
put
well,
them in the same
here, let me
boat.
ask you this
can't.
question then.
What?
If you were on Netflix and this new one was out and the original Superman with Christopher Reeves was out,
Why am I
which
gonna be
one
on
would you
Netflix,
rent?
first of
Which
all?
one are you going to rent first? Which one would
I
you?
would watch.
There goes our
I would
Netflix
own both of
sponsorship.
them.
I tried.
Hit my heart.
Look, I have a question.
She's Superman or Man of Steel? Superman or Man of
Which
Steel?
one are you renting? Or
Both.
buying?
Oh, see.
That's
I'm
just
assuming
terrible. All right,
that the Clark
You are
Kent
not listening to
character.
compare.
Excuse me.
No, I'm just telling him.
The Clark Kent
You mind?
character.
The Clark Kent character in this film, I'm assuming, because I haven't seen the film yet, is probably more mature and less goofy than the Clark Kent of the
That
Christopher Reeves day.
It's not applicable. It's not applicable.
a little. Yeah, you're right.
Not applicable.
Why?
You don't really see that.
You don't really see what?
That angle isn't really explored.
He's not a reporter?
Not
that
yet.
angle.
He's not working at the Daily Planet?
not
That
until-
angle is not explored.
You will see
Is
when
Jimmy
you see
Olsen
the
in
movie.
the movie?
That angle has not been explored yet.
Not
Have
yet.
you met with Jimmy Olsen recently?
It has not been explored.
When was the last time you saw Jimmy Olsen?
You know, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this film as well. A lot of Easter eggs.
I don't
did
believe
not
in
catch
religious festivals, but go ahead.
any. Do you believe in Superman?
I do.
He does. Sam.
You'll
I'm not
enjoy
sure.
it.
Show it.
I'm not sure where I was going with that.
All right, so
Wreck yourself before you wreck yourself.
So I know you haven't seen it yet, Sam, but
No,
would you
really.
guys go out and see it again?
Yes.
If I had to give it
Scott?
a number between 1 and 10 reasons why, see how I did that?
Drum roll.
I would give it maybe, I would say like a 7.
Did you answer the question?
That's 7.
That's 7 over 5. Anything over 5 is I'll see it again.
I would go see it again only because I feel like I must have missed something.
I
must have missed part of the story. Maybe I blinked or passed out or something.
Look at the time.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's our cricket moment right there.
Beep, 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 beep.
I would give it a 7. Sema, what would you give it?
8.5.
Chad?
8.5 sounds fair, yeah.
I'm going to give it a 0 to 10
Good job.
with a fill in the blank after I've seen it.
I would go see it again. It was an interesting take, which is what I liked about it. But I just felt like there was too many holes. Too many holes for me.
Too many holes. Speaking of holes, World War Z, not worth it.
Maybe we'll talk about that one next time.
If you want to see a good zombie movie, 28 Days Later, or even its sequel.
Oh, look at the time.
All right. Oh my God. All right. Well, we'll see you next time here on 10 Reasons Why.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye. Give me
Click.